Hello everyone, I'm Michelle Smith and welcome to my channel. I have a Dollar Tree Christmas DIY for you today. In today's crafting adventure, I'm going to show you how to make this adorable candy cane woodland wreath. Everything except for the ribbon for the bow came from Dollar Tree. This ribbon I happened to pick up at the 99-cent store, but any Christmas ribbon will do. I'm making 2 of these woodland candy cane wreaths to go with my woodland reindeer wreath that I made last week. I will have that attached in the description box below. Now, these are very easy to make. They're fun and inexpensive. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Here is a list of the tools and materials I used to complete the project. For your convenience, I've also included a detailed list in the description box below. Let's get started. You're going to need 1 package of the garland. This is the 15-foot garland that you can pick up at Dollar Tree. And then you're going to need 1 of their candy cane wreath forms from the Dollar Tree. Okay? Go ahead and find the end on your garland. And then we're simply going to wrap the candy cane. So you want to wrap that around the bottom and then from the back, come back up through. So it wraps around the first bar and then go back down under the second bar. And then just scrunch it back to attach it. So I came up from the underneath, I went over the bar, and then wrapped the tail around so it's secure. Now all I'm going to do is go ahead and take the garland and work my way and slowly wrap it all the way up until I get to the end. Now you need to be cautious. 1 of these will be plenty, but it's really easy to wrap it too close and too tight and then you don't think you have enough. Just after you've wrapped some, go back and kind of separate them. You just need to hide the frame. We're going to be adding a lot of decor to this, so you're not going to see it. Okay, so just go ahead and wrap that all the way around until you get it back to the end, and then you attach it at the end the same way you attached it in the beginning. Okay, so I have the 1 garland, and as you can see, you can get pretty good coverage just from that. You just need to adjust it a little bit when you get too much in one area. Okay, then you're also going to need a package of the wired garland ties. That's what they look like. You will need 7 of them. And then this is just to help fluff this and give this a little bit more oomph. So I just go from the back and wrap it to the front and do a twist and then just leave the ends. And there are 7 sections on the wreath, so you just want to put 1 about every section. That's why you only need 7. And again, this is just to add some fluff and some ends so it doesn't just look like you wrapped it. Okay, so there you go, your base is all done. Now you get to go to the fun part and decorate. Now to decorate, I have two different types of holly. I have some variegated holly and I have some dark green holly. So I have 3 pieces of the dark green and 3 pieces of the light variegated. And then I have 1 full stem of this small poinsettia in white. Then I have a couple, 1 stem of some red berries. So you get about 4 heads like this on a stem. You only need about 2 of these. And then I have 1 stem or half a stem of the glitter fern, and each stem in the bunch you get a large leaf and then 2 small of these. So you only need about 9 pieces of this. And then you're also going to need some large pine cones, and you need 6 of them. I went ahead and tipped them in white to give them that frosty, snowy feeling. So the first thing that I'm going to glue in is my base, which is going to be the glittered fern. Now you just want to mix up, the different stems in the different areas. You only have 3 of the large ones, so you need to strategically place them. And I'm just going to use hot glue and my handy silicone tool to help me place these. Just add some hot glue along the base and the back. And then go ahead and place that down. You can use your silicone tool to press it down. And you're just going to be gluing it to the greenery. I also, on these long ones, like to add another dab of glue a little further up so it lays in the position that I want it to. And on these smaller ones, I just add a little bit of hot glue right here at the end, and then place them into the wreath as well. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get all of my base in. Okay, I got my glitter fern in. The next thing I'm going to place are my holly. So when you are doing something like this, you always want to start with your background and then start with the largest items that you have to place. And when you're placing your items, you don't want to go right down the middle. You want to do a little off center and go back and forth. That way it'll come out much more pleasing to the eye. And on these, I leave the stem 1 inch to 1.5 inches long, so I can add some glue and then go ahead and place it into your arrangement. So I'm going to go ahead and add in all of my holly. I have all my holly in. Next, nestle in your pine cones. Get a good amount of glue there on the back. Decide where you want them and nestle them on in. I really love the way this looks. I love the pine cones when they're tipped in white. I think it adds so much more dimension. It makes it look so much more high-end. Now this area right here, I'm not putting a lot of things because this is where I'm going to put my bow. So keep that in mind while you're placing all of your embellishments. Now this wreath, because the frame is wrapped, is a nice wreath if you have a glass door or if you have a glass insert in your front door, because it looks good from the back as well as from the front, because you're not going to see anything except the greenery. The back looks nice and clean. So it's perfect if you have a glass door or a glass insert in your front door. So as you can see, I put a pine cone on this side, one on this side, one in the middle. So that way it looks nice and variegated. Now the next thing that I'm going to add is my little white poinsettias. And I'm just going to glue those in. Feel free to get in there and bend them so that they lay the way that you want them to. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add in all of my little white poinsettias. Okay, I got all the little flowers glued in. I'm really happy with how it's looking. Now the last thing that I'm going to add before I do the bow is I want a little bit more red, so I'm going to be adding some pieces of the red berries. And all I do is go in and cut off a chunk, whatever size I decide I need for that space, and then go in and just add a little bit more of the red. So I have all my embellishments on except for my bow, so we're going to go ahead and do that next. You're going to need a pipe cleaner and whatever ribbon you've decided to use. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is make a loop. This is going to be your center loop. Okay. You want it to come over itself by about an inch, then where it comes together there, you want to scrunch it together. Okay. And you want to go ahead and make your first loop. It needs to be bigger than the first one. And go ahead and make another loop on the other side. You pinch it in the middle. Each time you pass the center, you pinch it right in the middle in the back. Now to check to make sure these are the same, you want to lift them up. If they're not, go ahead and adjust. By lifting them up, if they're the same height, then they're the same size. Okay, once you've got that down, go ahead and do another loop. You want it about the same size as the first one. Bring it back and scrunch it in the middle. And then you're going to do one more on the opposite side. Again, you want it about the same size. You're still pinching everything in the middle. And you want to take a long piece out. This is going to be for your tails. Go ahead and cut that. Okay, then you want to bring that back up. Put it in the middle. You want it to come past the middle by at least an inch. And scrunch it. So you have a big loop on the bottom. And you have one loop in the middle and then two loops on either side. Then take your pipe cleaner. You're going to feed it through that very first loop that you made. Pinch it and wrap it around to the back, keeping everything nice and tight and pinched. Get it really secure and then twist. And you want to twist that down nice and tight so it doesn't come loose. And then that's what you're going to use to attach it to your wreath. And you can pull this out, the big loop, till it's even. And then I'm going to dovetail my end, so I'm going to fold it. And there you go. then you just want to fluff out your bow. You have 2 loops on either side, so you just want one a little higher than the other. You have the loop in the middle. And then pull your tails down. So it looks like that. Okay, and then to attach it to your wreath, just take the pipe cleaner and wrap it around your frame. And tie it off in the back. And then just take those pipe cleaners and tuck them down in underneath the garland. And then just go ahead and fluff up your bow. And there you go, I'm all done. I'm really happy with how they came out. So I'm going to be putting one of these on either side of my garage door, and then my reindeer one I'm putting on my front door. So that way everything will go together. And on the back here, at the top, I just attached a pipe cleaner to hang it. Now it depends to you whether you want it to hang straight up and down or at an angle. I put it on the side because I want mine to hang at an angle. But I'm really pleased with how both of these came out, and I think they will look adorable banking either side of my garage door. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. It's always a pleasure to see you. I hope you and your family are all staying happy, healthy, and strong. You guys have a great Thanksgiving, and I will catch you next time.